Welcome. So, over the past 3 days, with all the live streams I've done, with the instant reaction to the Fiesta Bowl, and with the live, that's a penalty on Notre Dame right there. Yeah, that might be a roughing into the kicker. That was just. Anyway, I'm tired. I imagine that you all can understand why. And I think that my live stream at 9 p.m. is very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be very casual with this. I'm not going all that in depth. I'm not, doing I'm not going to try my hardest to just shout out all the names of every player who makes a play. I'm just going to be calling down and distance, maybe pointing out some player numbers who are doing incredibly well and telling you how the game's going. I'm going to update the scoreboard, of course, but in the meantime, I will be editing some things and writing some things down and preparing for my show, especially during commercial breaks. If you want to talk to me, Super Chat's a great way to get my attention, but as always, I'll be reading the chat, skimming it through, and, I'll try to interact with you guys as much as possible. So, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. Be active in the chat. That's really all I ask. It's a weird, thing this game is, because it was supposed to take place tomorrow night. It's taking place this afternoon. Oh, they only did a running into the kicker. So it's going to be 4th and 16 for Georgia. Yes, Chris, we all saw what happened in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State won. We'll talk about that tonight for probably a good 30 minutes, maybe even more. Just absolutely crazy what Ohio State was able to do against Oregon. It was insane. And I don't know what play that was. There's another flag. Oh my gosh. Well, I can imagine these two teams are a bit restless after thinking they were going to play yesterday, and then it's, delayed by 19 hours and 15 minutes, I think it was. Yeah. It was delayed by 19 hours and 15 minutes. Another flag. Did they run into the punter again? It looks like it, based off of how they're doing this. I'm going to get my earbuds in during the next commercial. But yeah, I've just been chilling out today. We made a lot of money Tuesday. We made a lot of money yesterday. They ran into the punter again. Kirby just doesn't want his guy to continuously get bopped, so they're declining the penalty. That's pretty funny. Alrighty. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I don't expect this stream to be as high performing as the other ones because I'm not performing as high. But I wanted to fulfill what I said and go live for all of these streams. They're good. They make money. And yeah, what we'll be doing now is preparing for tonight's show. So if I'm not talking for a few seconds here and there, I'm probably just taking notes, whether it's on the game or just different things of that sort. So, yeah. Okay, so Notre Dame will have it 1st and 10 from their own 36. That means Riley Leonard's coming out. You got Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price against, C.J. Allen, against Nazir Stackhouse, against this awesome Georgia defensive front who's quickly closing on Leonard. It's interesting, just based off of these first few plays. Oh, there's a hold. I bet there's a flag, which I bet you is going to be a hold on Notre Dame. It seems like these two offenses don't know what to do against these two defenses. I'm looking at Notre Dame's O-line versus Georgia's D-line. There's a size disparity there. And it's not in favor of the Irish. It's in favor of the dogs. I can't even hear what the ref is saying. But illegal forward pass. What? Was he past the line? Oh, the ball got batted down into Leonard's hands, then he threw it forward. Yup, that is an illegal forward pass. So what, that's 2nd and 15, I think? Probably. Yeah, 2nd and 15 or something of that sort. Let me see. There's 11:37 left in the game, by the way. Notre Dame has possession of the football. Actually, looks like it might be 2nd and 20. They're not showing the really down and distance, though. Jeremiah Love gets about a gain of like 5 out to the 27-28 of Notre Dame. I'm surprised they're not showing the down and distance, guys. Like, this isn't the 1980s or 1990s broadcast where they just showed you the score. They didn't show you the time. They didn't show you the down and distance. Didn't show you any of that stuff. But yeah, based off of my estimates here, it is 3rd and 19. Yes. See, we can use our eyes here on college football with Sam. Wow. So Notre Dame's in this very precarious position. Georgia's going to send a blitz, and they're almost going to get home. Yeah, ball deflected again at the line. They have a clear size advantage. Like, let me tell you. So Indiana's D-line was able to get a lot of interior leverage. Outside of that long 98-yard run, the IU D-line did a very good job slowing down Notre Dame's rushing attack. They didn't really do a good job getting pressure on Leonard, but that's because Indiana's D-line is more of a run stoppage D-line than a pass rush D-line. Georgia has a lot more size and athleticism there than IU does. They're bigger, faster, more highly recruited, just as well developed. Nice punt by Notre Dame. Georgia will have it at their own 20. So trading punts here. Score is 0-0. Georgia will now have possession, and Gunnar Stockton will come out. I'm glad I didn't. I was telling a friend of mine last night that I was leaning toward Notre Dame, if I'm being honest, just based off of how the Rose Bowl went yesterday, how Notre Dame was analytically better, and there was a large sample size. But I didn't say anything publicly because I thought to myself, like, it's just a feeling, and I don't want to overreact to Notre Dame. I don't want to overreact to the Rose Bowl, which no one really saw that Rose Bowl coming. People saw Ohio State winning, for sure, but by 34-0 before halftime, I don't think so. A nice run by Georgia, by the way. Powerful run there. It's a 7-yard pickup. You know, if there's any team who I think can win it all with severe crippling roster limitations, it's Georgia. It's Kirby Smart. You can never doubt the Kirby. You can't. Whenever I think of Kirby Smart, I think of like that little character Kirby. It's funny. Notre Dame is going to send a blitz, and oh my gosh, what is Notre Dame doing? That was like the stupid. Oh wow. Well, we're already seeing the athleticism of Georgia here, I think, kind of take over a bit. Georgia got a long pass off. It was very fluky. So Notre Dame brought a corner blitz that Georgia's tackle just ate up, and Stockton just threw it to Dylan Bell, who was pushed. No. Yeah, oh wow, he barely. Oh, nope, he's out. He's out right there. Got a first down, but he was out right there. Just barely touched the sidelines. Marcus Freeman pointed out that, they ruled him out as is. So it's a good catch. Dylan Bell unfortunately went out of bounds, but it's a first down. And I think if you're Georgia, that's all you can ask for. Of course, they're now going to take forever to review it, but that's okay. Thank you, Armand Hammer, and also Chris Lane for being in here as moderators. I appreciate that. Thank you to Gnome as well for being a moderator. Let me see. Andrew Hay. I just, you all know the rules of a moderator, I presume. So as many of you who are consistently on here and who are subs to the channel, as many of you as I can add as a mod, I'm going to do so. So Andrew Hay, you're a moderator. Michael Valdez, you're a moderator. You know, just only limit people if they're spamming or if they're like really insulting people over and over again, like hurling slurs at them, for example. We don't want to limit people for like fan base banter. Like, that would be soft. But I think you guys understand that, being dedicated college football fans. Oh, no, I did not mean to delete. I did not mean to do that, Michael Valdez. I did not mean to hide you on the channel. What I meant to do was add you as a moderator. So I apologize for briefly doing that. Very undisciplined play from Notre Dame. Yeah, Jake Myers. I think that's pretty obvious based off those first drives. Running into the punter twice is kind of, what are you doing? That corner blitz looked ugly. The coverage on that play looked ugly, letting Dylan, I know he stepped out of bounds, but if Dylan Bell didn't step out of bounds, he would have had 20, 25 yards after contact. And if he was, let's say, Jeremiah Smith, that would have been a house call based off of how Notre Dame was tackling. It's just, I thought with the extra break, I thought to myself that Kirby would better deal with that, because Kirby's locker room guy, tactician. He has it all. He's the closest thing to Saban in college football. And while Marcus Freeman's a good coach, I don't think Freeman's quite at that level. But it's early. So we're not going to overreact here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I forget. I think this will make it easier on the mods. Everyone. Customization. What can I do? Whew. All right, Georgia is going to hand it off. Notre Dame does a good job of swallowing it up. They just pick up a gain of maybe 1 or 2. Andrew, hey, so is your overview coming for the Buckeye game today? Yes, it's going to be after this game. I originally wanted to do it in the morning, but there was no way I was going to do that. It was way too exhausting. Sam, it's easy enough, instant kill. 2nd and 9 for Georgia. It's going to be a screen pass, and once again, kind of okay tackling there by Notre Dame. It's going to be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs from about their own 43. Need to get about to the 50 to convert. I darn near predicted the score. I had it 45-24 Buckeyes. I just don't understand, maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't get how it seems insane to predict, to have predicted a team to win by that much. Wow. But I guess I just missed something, which is sad. And a catch by Georgia. They get it out to the Notre Dame 49, 1st and 10. Good throw by Gunnar Stockton. Good catch there from Georgia. And that ball was almost tipped by Miles Cross III. Riley Mills isn't playing, by the way. He's out for the season, sadly. And it's another pass. Notre Dame is playing a bit soft in coverage right now. I think it's going to be another 1st down, or at least a 2nd and 1. Georgia moving into Notre Dame territory. Go watch his replays. I got criticized for saying 45-24. I mean, I didn't think that was possible, but evidently it was. So, Mr. Bucknuts, what did you see that made you think that way? On film. What made you think that was going to happen? Good prediction, by the way. I'm curious to know what you saw. Loki, whoever comes out of this side of the bracket will lose to Ohio State by 3 touchdowns. Is that what you're saying? Ugnati? Welcome into the live, by the way. I predicted a 20-point win as well for Ohio State. Well, wow. It was an easy call. Interesting. Well, yeah, I missed something then. Someone said secondary small linebackers. I mean, I guess so, yeah. Second and 8 from the 34. Gunnar Stockton's going to run it on the read option, only picks up about a gain of 1, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. And offsides on Notre Dame. Second and 3 for Georgia. They're inside the 30 of Notre Dame. They're putting on a long drive. Oh, they're pushing Notre Dame's D line, getting to the second level. I'm a Buckeyes fan. I never saw 34-0 coming. Yeah, I mean, I didn't either. I'm not a Buckeye fan, but I didn't see that coming at all. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, though. I don't think that Ohio State's true team is beating the rest of the field by like 4 touchdowns. I think that Ohio State came out with their hair on fire. Oregon was a bit underprepared, and Ohio State was also the better team. And that combination, false start on Georgia. It's going to be 3rd and 6. It was on Tate Ratledge, right guard. Wow. Yeah, he flinched. So 3rd and 6 from the 32 is where Georgia has this. And they're just going to run it, and they're actually going to pick up the first down. That's funny. If they're going to get out to the 26-25 of Notre Dame, it'll be 1st down and 10. Okay, so let me put together a let me put together a show plan for tonight with you guys on here. Yeah, I can just rip this out. Okay. So, what do you guys want to see me talk about on the show tonight? Well, we'll do a little bit of a special here. It'll just be one topic, though, because I have a lot that I want to talk about. Oh, my gosh. Georgia, what? How is Georgia like? Georgia's pushing their D-line, but kind of expected that. Slavo Supreme, all 4 bye teams losing. Based off of how these first few drives are going, I don't think that Georgia will lose, but I predicted Georgia to win, so unless something like majorly incorrect happens, I'm not going to change that. Or like something happens that's different from my prediction, I'm not going to change that. So we'll just have to see. And I mean, what Notre Dame's doing is they're trying to prevent explosives. They're trying to play bend but don't break. And what Georgia's doing is just taking what they can get, and that's kind of perfect. That's kind of perfect harmony, really. Oregon is a finesse team, Pac-12 style, smaller defenders, linebackers. I mean, yeah, but they beat OSU the first time, And I think that while that was probably one end of the spectrum in favor of Oregon, I don't know. I don't think that. Again, it's like I said. Oh, they run it, they fumble it, the ball is on the ground, and Notre Dame picks it up. Georgia's had issues fumbling this year, and because of that fumble, Notre Dame has it inside of their 10. Nice stop by Al Golden's unit. And it's time for a commercial break. So we're going to take an ad break here. I'm going to get a glass of water, put in my earbuds. See you guys soon. All right, and we're back. Yeah, if you guys can't tell, I'm pretty exhausted. Whew, but it is what it is. I think this is fun to do regardless of that. So Notre Dame has it 2nd and 7. They're trying to run against Georgia just a little bit. They're going to try and pass right here. And they do get a slant. I think that's Faison right there on the reception. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 27. Nice throw by Leonard. About 1:30 left in the game. Not in the game, in the quarter. My bad. And it will be a handoff. Love gets a gain of 3 out to the 30. It'll be 2nd and 7. from the 30. Notre Dame actually became the favorite again in this matchup. And there's a false start on Notre Dame's O-line. It will be 2nd and 12 from the 25. Is a play action by Leonard, and Mitchell Evans only picks up a gain of 1. Georgia's defense being very disciplined in coverage there. That was KJ Bolden, the safety, on the tackle. And that's the end of the first quarter. So, at the end of 1, 0-0. Classic Big Ten West affair. Like I said in my preview and prediction video for this game, Georgia has dominated TOP. Got 10 minutes of possession. They've actually moved the football. Notre Dame will have a 3rd and 11 after this. Let me think about this. The only 1 seed that's won it all. Well, actually, recently the 1 seeds had tremendous success. 23 Michigan, 22 Georgia, 20 Bama, 19 LSU. That's it. The 1 seed until 2019 LSU didn't win at all. Straight up. Yeah, I shouldn't have picked Oregon in the bracket in hindsight, but yeah. I shouldn't have done that, but hindsight's 2020. Next year will be better. I mean, heck, Georgia was my preseason title favorite. So is what it is. Maybe they'll end up winning it all, but I won't take credit for that. Is Ohio State doing anything different scheme-wise from a few weeks ago? Or are they passing more? Yeah, they're doing things different scheme-wise. They're trying to hit the deep ball. They're trying to hit the intermediate and deep balls, and it's working. Because Will Howard has, like, his arm strength isn't elite, but it's not bad either. So he can hit them. They're basically opening up the passing offense and trusting in him. They're passing to open up the run rather than running to open up the pass. They're going away from the guards, which I think is very smart, because guard and center, and Pro Football Focus grades and film will tell you this, guard and center's like the only weakness of this Ohio State team right now is guard and center. It's basically it. So they're completely going away from that, which is very smart. And they're relying on their DBs and linebackers more. Like in that Oregon game, they rarely, if ever, sent a blitz, and the only times they did, they allowed big plays. So, like, Jim Knowles used a lot of 3-down pressures in that game, and consequently got a ton of coverage sacks. And I think that's very smart, because even though, look, Oregon's O-line got manhandled, but even on the plays where they handled pressure well, Ohio State would still get sacks because there was no one to throw the football to, because Ohio State's that good in coverage. All right, but we're back in the second quarter here. There's also that. They fixed to a zone blocking scheme. Leonard is going to throw it. It is caught. Although I will say about the zone blocking scheme, like even against Tennessee, they allowed 7 TFLs, and against Oregon, when they ran up the middle, they didn't do that well. So they are going outside the box is where they're running, using their speed, their athleticism, and they're being physical through the air. I mean, the most physical thing, let me remove this bot. The most physical thing Ohio State can do is pass to Jeremiah Smith, because he's one of the most physical football players in the country. And they're doing that now, which is awesome. Okay, so I asked this earlier, didn't see it all that much, but what do you guys want to talk about tonight on tonight's stream? Again, for those of you just joining in, we're doing just light play-by-play, color commentary, all those different things. It's very light. But we'll be live tonight at 9 p.m. for like an in-depth dive into these playoff games and talking about some of the futures of these teams, like especially I think about Ohio State, Oregon, a little bit of Penn State talk as well. What's one topic that you guys would like me to bring up in tonight's live stream? Also, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. I'd appreciate that. Remember, guys, Notre Dame just punted to Georgia, 14-14 left in the second quarter. It feels like just right now, both defenses are better than both offenses. And I don't exactly know like how much both teams want to be there. Oh, keep in mind for this next game, Penn State has an additional 2 days of rest in preparation. Oh, why am I recording this? That's lame. That's going to take up storage, precious storage. Let me delete that. I have it automatically set to start recording. And I do that because that way I don't forget to do it when I go live. Because I've had that happen before and it's rather frustrating. So, King Kavosha, I've just started ignoring the game even though it's on and just paying attention to the stream. Well, I appreciate that. That means I'm probably more charismatic or thoughtful or entertaining than I think I am. These teams are literally unwatchable. I do think that I think Georgia can beat anyone because of Kirby Smart, but I think that like Penn State has an offensive gear. So Ohio State's the team ultimately where they hit their gear, they're in the zone. But I feel like Penn State, in a certain sense, is close. They just haven't hit the gear yet. And I don't know if they will, and I'm not really predicting them to because they have James Franklin as their head coach. But they're incredible when they play at their ceiling. And, I mean, take a look at the Penn State-Ohio State game. That game, in terms of a coaching clinic, was very much on the side of OSU. Is Notre Dame... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. When Georgia can get behind your DBs, they just completed a pass all the way down to the Notre Dame 10. Holy cow, that was a 68-yard pass. Perfect throw by Gunnar Stockton. Got hit almost as he threw, and it was just caught right there. Was that by Dylan Bell? No, it was Arian Smith, the speedy receiver. He's been very inconsistent, but when he doesn't drop the ball, he's wonderful because it's just straight line speed. And Georgia's in a position to score again. If Gunnar Stockton's able to make these throws, they can play with anyone. There's a flag on the play, though. Looks like he picked it up. What's going on here? Yeah, he picked up the flag. There was a flag, but... Why are they ruling him down at the 26? Or maybe it was only to the 26, but I thought it was down to the 10. Oh, well, still a good play for Georgia. They're going to run it with, like, a pull block scheme. Get about a gain of 2 there. They're inside the 25. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Georgia right there. Do you think any teams are taking a big jump next year in the Big Ten? Thank you. So that's 1. Up sideline. Thank you. Is there any other topic? Oh, that was a weird misdirection play. It only got about a yard. There's a player down on the field for Georgia. Injured offensive lineman, it seems, but he got up pretty quickly. That was Ratledge. Okay, do you see any teams taking a big jump next year in the Big Ten? Okay, so that's possibly 1. Is there anything else people want to talk about? Speaking of the game right here, it's 3rd and 7 from inside the Notre Dame 25. 12:24 left in the game. Georgia has the football. Stockton back to throw, and it's incomplete. Threw it out of bounds. 4th and 7. So Georgia will bring on the field goal kicker. So far, they've gotten all the offense. Over 100 total yards of offense, 6 first downs, 1 turnover, that fumble. Notre Dame, 1 first down, 29 total yards, and Georgia's just eating the clock, too. Peyton Woodring will be on to kick. He's made 34 field goal attempts in a row inside the 50, or inside 50 yards. This is a 41-yard attempt. Should be good for Georgia. And it will be good. Just barely sneaks through the uprights. So 3-0 Bulldogs will be our score with 12:14 left in the quarter. In the half as well. And looks like they're going to take a commercial break. Will they? Yes. Yes, they will. So we'll insert some ads here, and we'll get back to it. Okay. Topic, will OSU regress next year as Michigan did this year? That's something to keep in mind. But the question is, by regress, do you mean... Because they're probably not gonna regress in the same way that Michigan did, because Michigan lost a ton of their coaches. They didn't recruit well at quarterback. They didn't use the portal enough. Ohio State's recruited well enough at QB. They're not having mass staff turnover, barring some disaster, and they're using the portal more than Michigan did, and earlier than Michigan did last year. But will they regress in general? That's a topic of discussion, I think, because there's a chance they don't. I think that this OSU team had some weaknesses to them that were not necessary. Like, I think of the defensive line or the offensive line or other areas, like quarterback, for example. Like, they can do better in the trenches and at QB. Oh, also tight end. That's why they brought in Max Clare. Than they did this year, and compared to what they've done in previous years. There's a shot, and I thought this early this year when Ohio State was having some of their issues, I thought to myself, there's a chance that they might actually do, like, potential-wise, they may not be as good next year, but maybe they will do better next year than this year. In the regular season, that's certainly a possibility. We'll have to see if they have the same upside next year as they do this year. But I think the Texas game will be a big determining factor of that, and just, again, how Ohio State finishes out the year. Because if they lose to Texas in the Cotton Bowl, the season's still a failure, and you kind of look at the Tennessee and Oregon game as probably more outliers than anything else if they lose to Texas. If they beat Texas and then they win the national championship, I think that, I think that there's I don't know, like season's a success, and I think regression next season won't be viewed in a negative light. Like, of course, when you lose as much production as you're going to lose, you'll regress some. I was very high on Michigan entering this year, and I still thought they were going to be nowhere near what they were in 2023 just because of how much they lost. I just thought so many other teams were also regressing, and that Michigan was strong enough in the trenches and on defense and in the ground game to where they were going to kind of negate some of that loss to the point where they would, be one of the, 5 best teams in the country, but still nowhere near close to where they were last year at the same time. Nathan asks, can you see Texas beating Ohio State? Seems very unlikely. Yes, I can, but I'm not picking it. Texas can do to Ohio State what Nebraska did to them. And if you say that sounds ridiculous because Ohio State's now playing at a higher level, and they are, my only counter to that point is Texas is a lot better than Nebraska. So I think that Ohio State playing at a higher level is canceled out in that analogy by Texas being a way better team than Nebraska. Also, analytically, Texas is a top 3 or 4 team in the country. They're analytically better than Oregon, especially in terms of size and also in terms of depth. So they can, but I'm not picking it to happen. I'm scared that it will. Like, I'm scared that I'll pick Ohio State and then they'll lose to Texas because I'm tired of not reading the team properly. But I'm picking Ohio State. Ohio State analytically is better. I think they match up well with Texas in some areas, though Texas matches up well with them in areas. So they absolutely can beat Ohio State. But will they? That's a different question. And I would lean toward no right now. Leonard with a QB draw. Picks up a first down. He's out to the 37 of Notre Dame. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. If you are... Okay, so... Yeah, it's like what Avi said. Michigan regressed so much because they did not have a QB. Someone on Twitter, a Buckeye fan, mentioned how he felt like, in hindsight, if Michigan just had... Like, based off of how the game was played, if Michigan just had a above-average to good QB, they could have competed for the playoffs. And he may have actually been right there. Notre Dame's going to run it. They trip at the line of scrimmage and pick up a gain of 2. It's 2nd and 8. This is the issue with Notre Dame. If Notre Dame can't get the ground game going and can't put pressure on Georgia, Georgia has been able to move the ball now for 2 drives, which means they're replicating said success. That's why when Ohio State scored the first touchdown last night, it was kind of like, okay, they started fast the first time. But when they did it again and again and again, when you can replicate identical drives, the likelihood that you're going to keep doing that over and over again just increases. It's going to be another QB draw for Leonard. Leonard is, wow, all the way down to the 30. 29, correction. 1st and 10 in Georgia territory. So Notre Dame sees something here. No one is on top of the guard or center. That's really what they see. And therefore, Leonard's able to get away. My score prediction for this game, by the way, was Georgia 16, Notre Dame 14. So Notre Dame now is in Georgia territory. They're having to run Leonard a bit. They're going to run Jadarian Price. He picks up a gain of 2. And that should have been a face mask. Yeah. On Georgia's number 5. $9:19 left in the game. We're getting more and more concurrent viewers, guys. This is just very chill. Interact in the comments. I'm just, blissfully calling the game. Notre Dame has it. 2nd and 7. Nice pass defense right there. That's by Dalen Everett. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Notre Dame is in field goal range, though. We're just getting more and more concurrent viewers. It's a thing of beauty. Third and 7 for Notre Dame. 9:04 left in the half. Notre Dame is yet to convert a 3rd down. We'll see what they can do. It is going to be a screen that is immediately swallowed up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. So outside of the Riley Leonard runs, Notre Dame hasn't been able to do anything, and they're going to send out their kicker, who's recently been accurate, to try and attempt a field goal. We'll see if he can make it. This will be a 44-yard field goal for Mitch Jeter. We'll see if he makes it. It's critical in a low-scoring game like this to get any type of points. Jeter's field goal is up, and it is good. So 3-3, Notre Dame and Georgia, all tied up in the second quarter. 8:20 left in the half. And neither of these teams have crossed 60% in win probability. So it's been a very tight, evenly contested game so far. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the 2021 National Championship game, where both teams are trading field goals. And yeah. And it also is similar in the sense that Georgia, I think, looks bigger. Georgia looks stronger. Georgia looks like the better team. We'll just have to see how it goes. All right, let me see any more comments that you guys have. Again, remember to like, remember to subscribe, hit the bell. Cads at the game. This has to be one of the most boring playoff games yet, but at least it's close. I mean, Oregon-Ohio State was over at halftime, barring some unrealistic comeback that was killed late in the third quarter. How are the teams looking, guys? Just popped in. Georgia looks more physical. Here's what it is. Georgia looks more physical. Georgia looks like the better team, but Notre Dame clearly has the more experienced quarterback. Oh, I forget, tonight we have Duke versus Ole Miss. Well, unfortunately, I will be live during much of that game. I hope it's close. I'm honestly rooting for Duke and Manny Diaz to win. It would be complete comedy gold if Duke, of all teams, beat Ole Miss. That would be incredible. Everyone, by the way, everyone is picking Ole Miss here. Will that happen? I don't know. Straight up, I don't know if that'll happen. Malik Murphy's in the portal, so I don't know who Duke's QB is going to be. But we've seen insane things happen. Like Michigan beating Bama was... From an analytics standpoint, Michigan beating Bama the way they did with all the opt-outs they had was almost as insane as Ohio State going up 34-0. Almost. Not quite as insane, but close. I mean, Michigan had all their first-rounders opt out, and they've been a bit of a thin team at times this year. And they beat Alabama. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, Avi, UGA is a massive size advantage. It's. I mean, I can see it on my phone. On my phone screen that is literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall. I can see the size. I can see the size edge. It's crazy. So 3-3. At least they're scoring. Am I way behind? Or is it just, are you guys talking about, oh no, you're talking about Armand. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart. Michigan beating Bama just proves anyone can stop a one-dimensional team like Oklahoma did. Yes, exactly. Well, a one-dimensional team without aliens. I mean, Ryan Williams might be an alien, but like Ohio State, for example, we saw this against Michigan. The run wasn't working. They were a bit run heavy, but they were also trying to be a little bit balanced. And against Oregon, they came out and were kind of like exclusively pass. Gunnar Stockton takes a sack right there. Notre Dame does get pressure. That is, there's number 44 for Notre Dame. And Stockton had some time, but he just didn't, he had no pocket awareness. And that's where you appreciate Riley Leonard and the veterancy he has. That's where you see that. This game's also going by quickly because What are your thoughts on Cam Ward for the Browns? Do you think he's a good fit for them? I don't know. And Georgia's going to pick up the first down because their tight ends are faster than Notre Dame's DBs. Ugh, just gross. I'm watching Mike Bobo outcoach Al Golden live on TV. Are they reviewing that? Oh no, there's an injured Notre Dame player, but it's 1st and 10 for Georgia at the 38. Yeah, Gunnar Stockton looks good. Outside of that one play where the second most recent play where he just got sacked and had no pocket presence, he's looked good. He's looked really good passing the football. Really, really good passing the football. Yeah, Stockton's looked really good. I mean, 8 of 9 for 130 yards. And some of that's obviously been like after catch stuff. But he's thrown some like non-check down balls, and they've done well. I'm extremely worried about our QB situation next year. Maybe I just don't get it. But I don't understand why we're putting our hopes in Julian saying. I think that, Brown's transferring out. Howard doesn't have any eligibility left. I don't think. So that's 2 QBs gone. Nolan's gone. You basically have Sayin and St. Clair, maybe Keenholz. I think Ohio State will want to bring in a transfer, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that Sayin will be good. I understand the concerns, but I thought even in the spring game that Sayin might be able to start as a true freshman and do well. So I'm going to stay pretty consistent with that, given how the staff has helped Howard develop, and think that Sayin's going to be one of the 10 best QBs in the country next year. But I will also say as a caveat to that, if I'm incorrect and Sayin is not one of the best 10 QBs in the country next year, Ohio State might be in trouble because receivers are awesome and Smith is going to compensate for anything. But we've seen games before where Jeremiah Smith was taken out of the picture not necessarily because of the defenses, but because of the play calling and or Howard's inaccuracy or inconsistency. Like Smith's potential can only be maximized with, of course, good game planning and a good QB play. So if Ohio State if they don't think Sayin's ready, then they need to get a transfer because you're not going to see Jeremiah Smith every year. I mean, he's better than Garrett Wilson. After yesterday, he's better than Marvin Harrison Jr. in my eyes. Georgia's going to run it. They're pushing Notre Dame around. They're pushing them around. 8-yard run by ETN, and Georgia is like Texas. They can't run on anyone consistently. The fact they're doing it here is crazy. I mean, the fact that, like, Xavier Watts and Notre Dame's safeties and defensive front, Gunnar Stockton, was that a face mask? It may have been a face mask. But no, it's a TFL. That time, Notre Dame got penetration, and it's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 3 for Georgia at their own 45. 6:08 left in the half, by the way, guys. 6:08 left in the half. Notre Dame sends some pressure, but, drop. Well thrown ball by Stockton, but a drop by Georgia. He was well protected, too, in the pocket. Notre Dame was never going to get to him. No, Sayan's pretty close to a pro-style QB. I think, from what I understand. Actually, let me look that up. I don't want to be inaccurate. But I think he's like about as pro-style as Mahomes, as Raiola. I was thinking of the attempted Mahomes clone. Julian Sayin. Let me see. In high school, he had a little over 100 rushing yards every year and a few rushing touchdowns. So I'd imagine that in college, like, he wouldn't have more than 100 rushing yards in a season. Like, just enough to maneuver around the pocket, maybe pick up a first down here and there. More mobile than McCord, but not as mobile as Howard, because Howard was, running Colin Klein offenses with, like, spread option stuff. Notre Dame will have it. 1st and 10 from their 24. .538 left in the game. You can just see that Georgia's D tackles are, like, huge. But there's a catch for Notre Dame. Pick up a gain of 12. They'll be out 1st and 10 at the 36 for the Irish. Now it seems like the Irish are slowly moving the ball. There's a nice throw, perfectly inside, in between the zone by Riley Leonard. Good catch by Faison. It's going to be a run, and Jeremiah Love picks up a gain of 2. 2nd and 8. So, Jeremiah Love right now, 4 carries, 12 yards. He's averaging 3 yards per carry. Price is averaging 2.5. Notre Dame isn't... Georgia isn't running the football all that well either, but they've also given up some sacks, 2 of them, that Notre Dame hasn't given up yet, at least. Is it going to be another run? Yes, it is. And this time, I believe it's Jeremiah Love. Yes, gets a gain of 5, so it'll be 3rd and 3. 4:08 left in the half. Notre Dame with possession. They're at their own 44. Notre Dame's playing a little bit off coverage here. It is going to be a pass from Leonard. Leonard is under duress. He's under pressure. Just has to throw the football away. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 3, and Notre Dame will have to punt with 3:40 left. Just, there's no one open. Or at least no one open that Leonard wanted to hit. Because I think, like, yeah, Yeah, I think there were some people who were briefly open, but Leonard, it seems like he was looking one side of the field and just didn't see it. So Notre Dame will punt. Marcus Freeman has done fakes before on special teams, so we'll see what happens here, but doesn't look like anything's coming right now. Just punt, and it'll be fair caught at the 13 of Georgia. So with 3:32 left, Georgia has the football. Will they get a touchdown? Will they get a field goal? Will they get a punt? We'll just have to see. I'll talk about some transfer portal classes. I'll do that if you guys want to do that tonight. 2025 transfer portal. Big Ten stuff, though. Maybe like a non-Big Ten topic, but I don't know. They actually finally fulfilled that Justice Haynes committed to Michigan. And Nebraska currently has the best portal class in the Big Ten, which is impressive. I mean, I've talked about before how I think it is a win now year for Matt Rule. Incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. I think he was targeting London Humphreys. Gunnar Stockton was. So 2nd and 10. Deep pass to the left side. Nope, Lawson Lucky is who he was targeting. Yeah, IU is a good portal class. Stockton, back to throw, overthrows his man, and completes. Going to be 3rd and 10. He hasn't looked as sharp on this drive as he has on previous drives. Illinois built a good portal class. So let me start writing this down. Third and 10 from the 14. Kind of do or die situation here because although Georgia's special teams this year are good, and that's helped alleviate some of the pressure on their roster and some of their roster weaknesses. Stockton, well protected. He's going to throw it. It's going to throw it away. Good decision. So 3 and out for Georgia. 3:16 left in the half. They're going to punt it back to Notre Dame. Okie dokie. So Georgia will punt. Looks like a good punt. And it will be fair caught, inside the 40 at the 38 of Notre Dame. That's a good punt right there by Georgia. You know, they're at their own 14, and that's a 48-yard punt. That's good. Good punt right there. You know Notre Dame's in good field position, but Georgia can give up a first down or two and it not be critical. We'll see what happens. But Georgia still leads in TOP, still lead in total yards, first downs. It's just Notre Dame's winning the turnover battle right now. Make sure, again, guys, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and comment your thoughts down below. All right, so it will be a handoff, and he just kind of tripped. Jadarian Price did. Got a gain of 3 right there. It'll be 2nd and 7. Just kind of tripped right there. He had an open lane, too, but Jadarian Price just, tripped. Maybe forcible contact. So it's 2nd and 7 for Notre Dame. Leonard is pressure, and it's caught over the middle. That is caught by number 1, wide receiver. for Notre Dame. Oh, they're showing how Jordan Faison won a national title with Notre Dame in lacrosse. Good for him. Now that I know that actually explains like just how athletic he is. And that's the 2-minute warning right there. It's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 47 of Notre Dame. That's like the 3rd time he's tripped. He has no body control. Gunnar took a hit and has been a lot less confident. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the portal. Any other topics I might talk about will be too determined. I like the idea of the one about Ohio State potentially regressing, and I forget which the other topic was, which is my bad, but let me try and scroll back and see what that could be. Let me see. Oh, any team taking a big jump next year. We can talk about that in relationship to the portal. Like Illinois, I think Illinois is a team that if they continue to win these one-score games, which is hard, and is why I, don't think they'll, like, they may actually regress next year in record-wise, but if Illinois plays their cards right, Illinois could take a big step forward. Very easily could. Very easily. All right. Texas Tech could, but that's non-Big Ten, which I do want to grow my non-Big Ten audience, but I have to do that very strategically. I've been very hit and miss with that. Oregon is a team that I'm fascinated with because next year they kind of lose a lot like Ohio State did, but Oregon is kind of leveling up roster-wise because they're recruiting at a higher and higher level each year. Meanwhile, Ohio State's recruiting at the level they've recruited at, kind of. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see. Leonard has it. Notre Dame picks up a first down, only picks up really a gain of 2. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 49. I like that Oregon's, they recruited highly at offensive tackle, likely because their 2 offensive tackles are gone. I think them having a guard would help. And then they got Thieneman and Johnson are pretty good additions. They're a little bit taller than what Oregon has, bigger. They're Big Ten DBs. Their secondary should be better next year. Oregon's should be. I don't like the Bear Alexander addition, though. I don't. Leonard is going to run, take off with his legs. He's going to dive forward to pick up a first down. He is Notre Dame's offense right now. He has 51 total yards on 4 carries, 127 left in the game. It's a little bit hard right now for Georgia to defend him because they're only sending 4. Just outside of Mitch Jeter's field goal range, a blitz comes. It's well over the head of Faison. No, that's not Faison. My apologies. Faison, I think, is number 6. That's number 5. For Notre Dame. Threw that one out of bounds. 2nd and 10. Georgia brought a blitz there that time. I'll also talk briefly about Brett Bielema and how he was mocking Shane Beamer. I thought that was pretty incredible myself. MSU hopefully can rise as King Kovosha. I think they'll be better next year. I think that Smith is a really good head coach. That's a catch by Mitchell Evans for a first down at the 29 of Georgia. Yep. But he went down in bounds. Georgia sends another blitz. Leonard is going to be sacked back at the 40. Just did not have the protection right there. It's going to be second down. Does Notre Dame call a timeout? I think they did. I think Notre Dame just used one of their timeouts. So that's Georgia's first sack of the day. Just that was volume right there. Georgia was stunting. They brought volume. They brought 6 guys. Notre Dame had 6 guys to block, but just too much confusion right there. And Georgia got home. That was a good call. Very good call. And Leonard's not happy. But Notre Dame took a timeout right there. I think they did. Yeah, they did. ESPN's just being a little bit delayed here. Just a little bit. Oh, yeah, so we're going to talk about the bowl games, what the bowl games mean a little bit for the team's futures. We're going to dedicate a large part of tonight's show to Ohio State and Oregon. I just got a spam message. I hate spam messages. I don't know where they get my phone number from. Maybe you guys are giving the spammers my phone number. But Georgia has held Notre Dame to minimal gains. It's second 21 for Notre Dame. Leonard is going to run again. He gets back into field goal range out to the 30-31. And doesn't pick up a first down. Did Georgia call a timeout, or did Notre Dame call another timeout? It's going to be 3rd and 11, by the way, for Notre Dame guys at the Georgia 30. Who called another timeout? Someone did. That's why the clock is stopping. Unless a player's helmet came off. Maybe that's what it was. Something about the clock starting on the snap. So a little bit of a break there for Notre Dame time-wise. Maybe a little bit of a break even for Georgia. If Georgia's able to, get the ball back here and they somehow come out, try and score. So 3rd and 11 from the Georgia 30 is where Notre Dame is. Georgia sends a bit of a blitz. It is just a dump-off pass that's dropped, incomplete. 4th and 11 from the 30. Mitch Jeter's going to have to come on and hit a 47-yard field goal. Should be makeable. 43 seconds left. So I expect the halftime score here to be 6-3 Notre Dame. Yeah, made his first from 44. This will be a 48-yarder. And a timeout was called by Georgia to ice him. 3-3. Oh, man, Kirby Smart looks stressed. I'd be stressed if I were him, too. Honestly. I've already done a Minnesota video that got some views, not a ton, but Sam, do you think that Georgia's tough schedule will be an advantage or disadvantage in this game? I think it's an advantage. Well, it's a mixed bag. After I initially said that, it's more of a disadvantage. If Georgia had a weaker schedule, they'd be healthier. Beck probably wouldn't be hurt. And some of their other players wouldn't be hurt. but they'd be just as physical and just as tough. Okay, so 48-yarder for Mitch Jeter. Georgia is going to try and block it. They're not going to, though. It's going to be 6-3 Notre Dame with 38 seconds left in the half, barring, of course, Georgia getting down the field quickly. That'll probably be the halftime score. Just field goals so far. The bad news, if you're Georgia, is Notre Dame gets a ball out of the half, and they've been able to move it a little bit. Yeah, Mitch Jeter has not been accurate all season long, but he's gained some confidence in the playoffs. Now, if you're Georgia, do you just run it in half? Or what do you do? Like, what do you do if you're Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs? Jake, is your last name Montejeo? Or am I pronouncing that totally wrong? And what country are you from? DeMoney5675, why is Notre Dame the only team you fear left? Like, their offense is probably the most one-dimensional offense left. And while their passing defense is statistically the most impressive, I feel like your passing offense will still be able to do pretty well. Up, and Notre Dame is going to recover a fumble with 33 seconds left. That is critical right there. Notre Dame has it. Got a sack on Stockton, and the Irish are going to recover that fumble right there. And they're inside the 15. So Georgia can make this, or Notre Dame can make this 13-3 at the half. Possibly. And if they do, that could be game if they do that. Wow. Georgia 2 turnovers, Notre Dame none. The Irish have the football at the 11, or not the 11, it's actually the 13 of Georgia. So Georgia's defense is going to have to come up pretty big here. And Notre Dame has their 2 timeouts, so they can run if they want to. Wouldn't be shocked to see him run. No, it's going to be a play-action fade. It's caught. Touchdown, Notre Dame. They're going to be up 13-3 at the half. Good throw by Riley Leonard. And it's to Jordan Faison for a 13-yard receiving touchdown. That is killer. Because now Georgia is probably... Notre Dame's going to have like an 80% chance to win by the computers. 12-3. Nope, they actually give the credit to Bo Collins. Yup, 81% chance to win per ESPN's FPI. And the point after is good. That right there is a critical mistake by Georgia, giving up that fumble for that touchdown. Yeah, Stockton after that hot start is not doing so well. To say the least. Not doing well at all. I'm 4 of 4 on this round, says Andrew Hay. Good for you. It looks like I might be 2 of 4, which would stink. Oh well. Darn it. Well, we'll see how the game goes in the second half, but as of now, it sort of feels like I should have went with my thoughts after last night. I gotta go listen to Lou rant later, Sam. This is gonna be good. That's funny. Does Kirby just down it now? Probably. Although I don't know. Saying that because if Notre Dame comes out and gets a touchdown out of the third, it's going to be 20-3. So we'll have to see. But what a swing for Notre Dame there. Yeah, I assume that Georgia is just going to take it down, but we'll see. Yep, that's what they'll do. ETN gets about a gain of 4, and that's going to be it for the first half. Apparently, they're going to try and get one more playoff. I don't know why, but I guess it'll be a Hail Mary. Yep, that's what it's going to be. That's the end of the half right there. We're at halftime. All right. So Georgia down by 10 in New Orleans, 13-10. I am going to get some food because I am starving. In fact, I might end this stream right now just because I'm having a hard time focusing on my show and I want to make sure that my show does well. So yeah, I might shut this down because I'm exhausted, and I need to do well on the show tonight. So we'll have to see. In fact, yeah, I'm going to, guys. I'm just going to make the decision now. It'll help me focus more. It was good having you on for a half, though. We'll see how the rest of this game goes, and I'll talk about it tonight, of course, on my show, which will be 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Although, have your notifications on. Click the notification bell, because I might be on earlier, depending on, just what happens and different things. So, I'll see you tonight, guys. See ya, King Kavosha, Stereotypical Buckeye, Andrew Hay, The Fixed Capacitor. Hopefully we can get a few hundred concurrent viewers on tonight's show. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.